guys, welcome to a monthly pickup video for April 2011. I'm gonna warn you guys now, there are a lot of games in this monthly pickup video just because there were some great sales. GameStop had their buy two get one free weekend this month, and they also had a buy two get two free off of PlayStation 2, Gamecube, and Game Boy Advance games, and I totally went crazy on that, so I got a lot to share with you guys. So I guess I'll kick things off with the only piece of hardware that I picked up this month, and that is a Game Boy Advance SP. I found this at my local GameStop for really cheap because they're trying to get rid of all their Game Boy Advance stuff, and I'm really happy with it. Unfortunately, the shell is a little scratched up. I don't know if you guys can see that, and the back is a mess, but that's cool because the screen, you guys probably can't see that, is in amazing condition. This is the last model of the SP that they put out, so it has that extra bright backlit screen, and it looks amazing with Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color and Game Boy games, so I'm really excited I have this. To go along with my newly acquired Game Boy Advance SP, I picked up some Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and because of the great sale that GameStop had, I picked up some Game Boy Advance games as well. So the first game that I picked up is Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color. A lot of you recommended this to me, and then a lot of you said, don't waste your time, it's not that great. I played about 30 minutes of it, and it's pretty cool. For some reason, it reminds me of Metal Gear for the Nintendo, which is crazy. It just has that feel to it. It's simple enough, you know, you go around, shoot things. It's a pretty cool shooter for the Game Boy Color. Final Fantasy Legend is a series that I missed out on when I had my Game Boy, and you know, now that I'm trying to go back and beef up that Game Boy collection, I'm definitely looking to get all of the other games in the series. A lot of you say this is a really good series, some of your favorites, so I definitely want to try it out. You guys already know I'm a puzzle fanatic, so I picked up Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, which is actually pretty fun. You know, I told myself I was only gonna play it for 15 minutes when I first bought it, and like 45 minutes later I had to put the Game Boy Advance down just because, you know, I had something else to do. Very addicting, lots of fun. If you're a fan of puzzlers, see if you can track this one down. All of you Dragon Warriors / Dragon Quest fans out there should be pretty happy to know that I found myself a copy of Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 for the Game Boy, or maybe it's the Game Boy Color. I'm not quite sure what the black cards mean. I'm really excited. I am totally turning into a Dragon Quest fangirl. I love the series now. It all started last summer when I picked up Dragon Quest 9 and fell in love with it. Played Dragon Quest 4. I like that. It was pretty cool. Still have to play Dragon Quest 5. A lot of you say that's the best one in the series. I just want to go back and get all the Dragon Quest games, or all the ones that I can afford, and have fun with them. I have some Game Boy Advance games here, and the first one is Mario Pinball Land. I had no clue there was a Mario Pinball game on the Game Boy Advance, and it really is a lot of fun. If you're looking for just a game that you could pick up and play, you know, really quick and have fun with it, this is one you might want to consider. I found a copy of The Legend of Zelda, the classic NES series version. This is a classic game. You guys know I love The Legend of Zelda. This isn't my favorite Zelda, but then again, you know, it's still the place where the series started, and I really did enjoy it. I have fond memories of The Legend of Zelda, so I'm glad to have this on the go. Another game that I missed out on for the Game Boy Advance is Yoshi Topsy Turvy. I had no clue about this game, which is crazy. And I really like the cart. On the front it's green, and on the back it's white. Definitely sticks out. Lots of fun. It has that whole gyroscope gameplay mechanism, kind of like WarioWare Twisted. I think that was the Game Boy Advance version, where you know, put this in your Game Boy Advance and you can tilt your Game Boy Advance from left to right to make Yoshi do things. It's pretty cool so far. I picked up Sigma Star Saga. I have no clue about this game, you know, but I decided to take the risk since this game was only $2. Figured I can't go wrong. I also picked up, since it is a classic, Super Mario Advance for the Game Boy Advance. It's not my favorite Mario portable game for the Game Boy Advance, but it definitely is a lot of fun, and it brings back memories. I mean, I used to play this all the time when I first got my Game Boy Advance. So as I mentioned, GameStop was having this crazy deal a couple days ago where you could buy 2 PS2, GameCube, or Game Boy Advance titles, and then you get 2 free. So I guess I'll show you my PS2 games first. First one I picked up is Ratchet Deadlocked, and I knew nothing about this game. I guess it came out towards the end of the PS2 life cycle. I'm not sure, but I knew nothing about this game, and it doesn't really look like the traditional Ratchet and Clank games. Matter of fact, on the back I don't see too much platforming going on, so I take it that it's more or less of a shooter. I don't know, but definitely something that I'm gonna try out just because I really enjoy the series. I got really excited when I saw a copy of Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented, sitting there on the shelf just waiting for me to pick it up. I love the Fatal Frame series, lots of fun. This is the one game that I don't have in my collection and I have never played, so I definitely want to play it, and hopefully they'll bring out some more Fatal Frame games in the near future. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I do hope they bring more out. Another survival horror game that I picked up for the PS2 is The Suffering, The Ties That Bind. I played the original Suffering on the Xbox and I really enjoyed it. You know, I guess it's kind of categorized as a survival horror game, but it isn't really. I mean, it is a little scary. I like the atmosphere. You know, it's set in a jail. The first one was. And I like the character and the story and everything. I figured I'd go ahead and pick this one up even though it's not on the Xbox. I just want to play through it and see what happens, you know, how the story ends up. So yeah, I got it at a really cheap price, so I'm excited about that. On to the crazy mess of GameCube games. The first one is Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I'm not the biggest Mega Man fan, but I do enjoy Mega Man 2. Actually, I've only played Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 2. And this game actually has Mega Man, all the Mega Mans 1 through 8, and then there's like 2 lost Mega Man games on here, I think. So I'm really excited to see what all the other Mega Man games have to offer. You guys recommended Custom Robo to me. I was a little hesitant on it just because I'm not the biggest fan of like mech/robot games. But this one is actually pretty fun. My son and I have been playing a little bit here and there. It's fun, you know, and I'm surprised, you know, maybe I should try to get into other mech games like this that are more laid back and lots of fun to play. The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. Now, I've never played this game, you know, even though I consider myself a fan of the series. I have never played this game, but I'm a little bummed out just because I no longer have a GameCube, and I definitely don't have 3 other friends that can come over with Game Boy Advances so we can play this game the way that it's meant to be played. So I'm a little upset about that, but I am going to try to get my hands on a GameCube and the adapter so that I can do a little something with the connectivity between the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube. So we'll see how that turns out. Soul Calibur 2, classic game, and I had to pick it up just because it has Link on the front. Never played the GameCube version, so I'm excited to see how Link plays in this game. 13. Now, a while ago, Holly, aka Dog on My Lens, recommended this game to me, and I totally forgot about it. I saw it sitting on the shelf at GameStop recently, picked it up, and I'm glad that I have it now so I can play it, just because, I mean, it is the basic run-of-the-mill first-person shooter, but the only difference is the presentation. This game looks like a comic book, which is crazy. You don't see too much of that going on now or even back then, so I'm really excited about this one. Geist. Now, I haven't had a chance to try this game out yet, but I always seem to see it in GameCube collections, and a lot of you guys rave about this game. I'm interested in it just because it's a Nintendo. It was made by Nintendo, and you know, it looks kind of like a survival horror game. So I don't know how that plays out, but I definitely want to try it. F-Zero GX. I used to have this game back in the day, and I loved it, but for some dumb reason, I traded it in, and I'm glad that I have it back in my collection. Love, love, love the F-Zero series. This game is amazing, great music, great tracks, just a lot of fun to play in general. Wave Race Blue Storm, another great racing game. Not my favorite Wave Race game. I really do like Wave Race 64, but this one is still pretty good. And to wrap up the GameCube games, I picked up Aggressive Inline. I played this game, I rented the game on the Xbox, and I had a lot of fun with it. I actually like this game more than the later Tony Hawk games. It's just a lot more fun, more laid back. I still have to get used to the controls on the Wave Bird because it's a little different, a little awkward, but it definitely is a lot of fun. It was super cheap. Moving on to the more current games, the first one I want to share with you guys is the Fallout New Vegas Collector's Edition. I wanted this when it was released, but I procrastinated because I didn't pre-order it in time. I waited too long to pre-order it. It's now on sale at GameStop for $30. So if you're interested in it, you definitely should try to track one down. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, or Ecclesia, for the Nintendo DS. This rounds out the series for me on the DS. This was the last game I was looking for, and I consider myself a Castlevania fan, but I can't be taken seriously if I don't have all 3 on the DS, and if I haven't played all 3. I've only beaten the first one, so I need to go back and beat Portrait of Ruin in this one as well. I also picked up a used copy of Residents of Fate for the PlayStation 3. I instantly thought of Sharon, aka Tiger Fiction, just because she says this is her favorite RPG. She said it's amazing. She's always raving about this game, and you know, the summer Summer's coming up and I have less to do, so what better way than to find a great RPG to play in the summer. Trauma Team for the Nintendo Wii. This was a steal. I picked it up on Amazon.com for $13, brand new. And that's great because in this area, you can't really find this game at all. And if you do, it's $30. So it's really a fun game. Definitely my favorite Trauma Center game that I've played so far. My birthday was earlier this month, so I got a few games and you know, gift cards for my birthday. The first game I picked up was Yakuza 4. It's still sealed just because I haven't completed Yakuza 3 yet, but when I complete Yakuza 3, I'm moving on to this. I heard this is really, really good. You play as different characters, which is like a change in pace in the series, so I'm excited. Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed, the limited edition. This game is alright. You know, it's no Hot Pursuit. I absolutely adored Hot Pursuit when it came out last year. Lots of fun. This is a more you know, this is more of a simulation type of racer, more comparable to Forza and Gran Turismo, but it still has a little arcade feel to it, which is kind of weird. I have to play more of it to actually see where I stand. I haven't played any online or anything like that, but it looks good. The controls kind of take some getting used to, but it does have that audio log feature that Hot Pursuit had, so that's pretty cool. Homefront. Now, I picked this up a few weeks ago because Kmart had a sale. It was only $40, and after playing through it, you know, I feel like I got my money's worth. I did complete it in one day, but that's okay. You know, I do want to do some type of video, not necessarily a review, but some type of video just going over how I feel about this game, because a lot of you guys have been hating on it and you think it's a horrible game, but it's really not. Crisis 2, my husband and my son got this for me for my birthday. Haven't even opened it yet because I've been playing other shooters. For some reason, April has been the month of shooters for me. I've been playing a lot of shooters. So once I'm done with the Conduit, which I'm playing right now, I'm definitely going to pop this into the 360. Portal 2, yet another sealed game. I haven't played this one yet, which is surprising. You know, I was really excited about trying this out. I enjoyed the first Portal, but I guess, I don't know, all this crazy stuff that's going on with PSN right now, I've kind of been down on it. I don't think I've even turned it on in the past almost 2 weeks. So I'll get around to playing this one. A lot of you guys have said it's amazing. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars for the Nintendo 3DS. This is another game I haven't opened up, but I will open up, believe me. And the reason I bought this though is because there was a sale at Amazon, on Amazon for it. And you know, I heard a lot of great things about this game. I hear it's very similar to Advance Wars, and even though I'm not a fan of turn-based strategy games like that, I do enjoy the Advance Wars series, so I'm looking forward to this one. So the last game I have to show you guys was a total impulse buy. You know, I wasn't planning on getting this game so soon, but I couldn't resist it. You guys know how that goes. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Mortal Kombat! I'm sorry guys, I couldn't resist. This is a fun game, lots of fun. I'm digging this more than Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I just feel like it's more accessible. I like the controls, love the characters, just because, you know, I kind of have some type of history with those characters because I remember playing Mortal Kombat 2 all the time when I was younger. So this is a lot of fun. Love the challenge tower, loving the story mode. Who would have thought that there would ever be a great story mode in a fighting game? I never thought that could happen. But this game has a great story mode and just a lot of fun in general. Lots of fun. Definitely a game that I'm going to be playing for a while just because I'm really addicted to it. So there you have it guys. Those are all the games that I picked up throughout the month of April 2011. I told you guys there were going to be a lot of games, but it's all good. Most of the games that I picked up were used and really cheap, and games that I wanted to put back into my collection. So I do want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thanks for sticking around. I'll check you next time.